Hey guys, so we're about to enter our last week here in February, and our last chance to get a Nintendo Direct this month. Now last week we got an Animal Crossing Direct, and let's talk about something interesting that happened in that Direct. Over on Twitter, Francisco Madrigal wrote me, "Am I the only one that caught this? Ninten related to the Mother series?" And if you noticed in the Animal Crossing Direct, the player character for the villager was named Ninten. In fact, even the name of the island in the Direct was called Ninten Land. Ninten is the name of the main character in the first game in the Mother series, which is called Earthbound Beginnings here in the West. Now, in the Mother series, Ninten is really just getting his name by being an abbreviation of the name Nintendo, so it was always just sort of a neat play on words there. So I thought Nintendo was just doing that again with this villager, and it wasn't exactly a reference to the Mother series. However, over on Twitter, @NormallyNormal7 wrote, "But there was also this, Ninten and Anna. Might be coincidence, but Anna was a party member to Ninten, so it could mean something." And there, if you look, one of the friends for Ninten was actually named Anna, which is another character from the Mother series. So maybe calling the villager Ninten wasn't a coincidence at all. Maybe it isn't just an abbreviation of the word Nintendo. Maybe it is actually a reference to the Mother series. So why would Nintendo be referencing the Mother series right now? I'm not sure. It's possible something from the Earthbound Mother series could be coming soon. In fact, we've had something very strange happening with Smash ever since the base game showed up. We still have no spirit for Porky Minch. We even had a Mother spirit board show up over the summer, and they didn't add Porky back in, even though that would have been a perfect time to do so. Porky is also the only former Super Smash Bros. Boss to not have a spirit. All the other bosses from Brawl have gotten spirits in Smash Ultimate, but Porky's is still absent. It's been one of the strangest omissions that Smash Ultimate has had. Ever since the base game dropped, people looked through all the spirits, and we're kind of looking for characters that weren't spirits that maybe we could get as playable later on, and Porky was one that stood out like a sore thumb, especially being a former boss in Smash itself. So he's not only important to the Mother series, he's actually important to Smash, and he's still not here. Whether or not this whole Ninten thing is actually a reference to the Mother series, I don't know, but I do think at some point we will get the Porky Minch spirit showing up in Smash, either as Porky coming in as a playable character and bringing a spirit that way, or possibly just something happening with the Mother series, and then we'll get some spirit event that'll bring Porky back. I do think before Smash Ultimate is done, Porky will show up in the game in some form. Especially after getting Byleth and the Fire Emblem Three Houses game was passed over for getting a spirit event, it seems like missing spirits are really something to take a focus on, so I do think the absence of Porky here is pretty important, and we should probably take note of it. I've been seeing online that Lara Croft may be coming to Brawlhalla very soon, so that's pretty cool. Rayman joined Brawlhalla a while back, and people were thinking that that might count Rayman out for getting into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But then, of course, we did get Rayman in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in the form of a spirit. So if Lara Croft is coming to Brawlhalla, I don't think that counts her out for getting into Smash. I know some people will probably bring that argument up, but since Rayman was in Brawlhalla and was also in Smash Ultimate, though in the form of just a spirit and not a playable character, I do think Lara Croft still has a shot of getting into Smash. And I don't think she's destined to only be able to be a spirit. I think she could be a playable character. I'm personally not really counting on that, but I don't think this counts her out in any way. Okay, so all this spirit talk aside, let's talk about how we could be getting a Direct this week. Zippo over on Reset Era wrote, "Alright then, might as well let it out. There's 2 Directs this month. You've already guessed what they obviously are. Not sure of the timing, but that February 20th stuff lines up for Animal Crossing. Please don't flood me." As February moved forward and it seemed unlikely we'd get any Directs, Zippo wrote, "No, I stand by everything. My sources were confident in all that they told me, and I stick by them 100%. And last week, we did in fact get that Animal Crossing Direct on the 20th, so Zippo was spot on with that one. This is our final week in February, so if Zippo's information is 100% correct here, we should be getting a Direct this week. Now, I don't personally know if we'll definitely get a Direct or not, but Zippo seems pretty confident in what they had heard, and this is the final week in February here. Even if we don't get a Direct, I still think Zippo is someone to definitely listen to. They were spot on about the date for that Animal Crossing Direct, so even if, maybe half the information they heard doesn't end up being true if we don't get a Direct here, I still think Zippo is a very credible person and should be listened to. Here's a list that Zippo compiled together of a bunch of rumors of what could be coming this year, so this seems like a list worth listening to. Over on Twitter, Chris Scullion, a Scottish games journalist, wrote, "I have it on pretty good authority that there will be another proper Direct later in February. Source has only been wrong once before, but has been spot on plenty of other times. Just to be clear, this may be wrong, this is nothing close to confirmation, but I wouldn't be tweeting it if I didn't have at least some faith in that source." So there's another person backing up the rumor that we could be getting a proper general Nintendo Direct this week in February. Stealth over on Twitter wrote, lack of direct announcement aside, PAX East starts next week, and Nintendo has the biggest booth at the show. I'm more curious why Nintendo hasn't announced their lineup. And if you take a look at the PAX East showroom floor map, you can see Nintendo's up in the top right-hand corner, and it is a very large area, and we still have no idea what Nintendo's going to show off. PlayStation also announced that they won't be showing up at PAX East this year due to coronavirus concerns, so Nintendo's going to have quite a lot of elbow room to show off whatever they have to show off. Stealth went on to write, PAX East 2019 started March 28th, and Nintendo had revealed their lineup by March 12th. PAX East 2020 is under a week away, and Nintendo still hasn't revealed their lineup. Seems possible a direct drops Tuesday, Wednesday that has an unrevealed game that will show up. Not sure why the secrecy otherwise. And Nintendo seems to be very secretive right now. In fact, something's happening really strange in the world of leakers. Over on Twitter, Sabi wrote, Real talk, I'm not posting Nintendo leaks. I will, however, continue this account through journalism and overall community engagement, similar to, say, Stealth. I still want to be a useful account for sharing news for you to see. So Sabi has essentially quit the leak game as far as Nintendo leaks go. Also on my Discord, Deku wrote, Sabi, King Zell, and Zippo are seemingly done leaking. King Zell wrote, people here need to understand something. The Nintendo Ninja thing is real. Zippo was asked, if they are mad at you for actually saying the stuff, well, that you said, could this mean ... And Zippo said, I'm fine for now, but you can draw your own conclusions on that. Is this also maybe why Emily bolted? She technically hinted the Animal Crossing Direct, I guess. Emily Rogers supposedly shut down her Reset Era account, and she was somewhat hinting at an Animal Crossing Direct happening last week. I wouldn't exactly call this leaking the Animal Crossing Direct, but when asked, God, I hope there's a Direct next week, she did say, are you an Animal Crossing fan? And we did get that Animal Crossing Direct. So it seems a lot of people who often share rumors and information are suddenly going silent right now. Is Nintendo out on the prowl with their Nintendo Ninjas looking to stop any leaks happening? If Nintendo is extra cautious right now about leaks, is it possible that they have something really big to announce? If we do get a Direct this week, what could we be seeing? Possibly some new Smash character they don't want to get out, or maybe something like Breath of the Wild 2 shown off and they don't want any information shown on it. It's very possible something big could be coming from Nintendo very soon, and that's why they're being extra cautious about stopping any leaks and all these, I'm not going to call them leakers, but people who talk about rumors and information they've heard are being really cautious right now. On a similar note, Activision recently subpoenaed Reddit to pursue some Call of Duty Battle Royale leakers. Over on my Discord, Chef Boyardee wrote, at PapaGenos, Nintendo and Activision both taking down leakers. Crash? So it is interesting if you kind of read between the lines here. It does seem like Nintendo's being really cautious right now with leakers, and it also seems like Activision is. If we put those two together, it's possible we could be getting something Activision and Nintendo that would be pretty major and they don't want it to leak out. If I had to take a guess, I'm going to agree with Chef Boyardee. If something Nintendo or Activision is in the works that they don't want to leak out, the most likely thing might be Crash coming to Super Smash Bros. That would be something I think they would not want to leak in any form and would be extra cautious about, and could be some really big news coming soon. I'm not saying Crash is definitely coming to Super Smash Bros., but that does make sense if you kind of read between the lines here with this stuff. Personally, I think it's a little conspiracy theory, a little reaching to say that, but it could happen here. Some other interesting things that will be happening later this week. Yacht Club Games is going to have a presentation on Wednesday, February 26th. Also, Platinum Games said they will share a major announcement this week. Pokemon Day is also going to be celebrated at the end of this week, but given how much Pokemon information we just got, I don't expect anything major here. Gamatsu is reporting that Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for Switch has been rated in Korea. And so have quite a few other games, including Catherine Full Body and XCOM 2. BioShock Remastered was also rated by South Korea a little while back, so it's possible all of these games are going to get shown off soon, potentially in a Nintendo Direct. Having games rated right before we get a Nintendo Direct is a common pattern that seems to happen. Over on Twitter, Nintendo of Europe is showing off each of the DLC characters and seems to be doing it as almost some sort of countdown. At Westmata Plays wrote me, PapaGenos, they seem to be re-showing all of the Fighter Pass characters with Joker starting last week. I'm thinking they are counting down to the next reveal, presumably in 4 weeks. What do you think? Now that was posted when it seemed like we'd get a character every week, however we've actually gotten more than that. At LazyLamb000 wrote, Banjo was just shown off today, so maybe we could be getting a reveal much sooner than we think. And yeah, they've already shown off Joker, Hero, and Banjo-Kazooie. At Xenofacilis wrote me, at PapaGenos, just a thought, but do you think these announcements are counting down to something? If I remember correctly, we got a Hero announcement recently, yesterday, and a Joker announcement as well. A possible Direct maybe, or a countdown to the reveal of Fighter Pass 6 soon. Over on my Discord, Daniel Snoutling wrote, so Nintendo's been posting reminders about Smash DLC every day. First Hero, now Banjo. It actually started with Joker. If they keep going in order with tomorrow's post being Terry and the next day Byleth, that'd take us to the 25th, which could be the day the Direct gets revealed. The day after is when the Direct could be, where they reveal another Smash DLC fighter. This would continue the streak on DLC fighter posts. They went on to write, this is half a joke, please don't take that seriously. But kinda. And yeah, this is definitely a bit of a conspiracy reaching pattern theory type thing, but it is interesting they're showing off each of the DLC characters. It's possible they're just advertising the past just to advertise the past, but with the potential to have a Nintendo Direct this week, it's also possible they're counting down to that, and in a Nintendo Direct, we could of course get the next fighter revealed. Sakurai seemed to say it would be a while before the next fighter would be revealed, but also keep in mind that Byleth presentation was filmed in November, so it might not be that long. Also, we got Joker revealed shortly after Piranha Plant, and then we just had to wait a while before Joker was actually released. So it's very possible they'll reveal the next character in an upcoming Nintendo Direct here, and then we'll just have to wait a while to actually see any real gameplay. Maybe we'll just know who it is for a while, but we won't actually know much about them. It would be a little rough if, say, Nintendo waited all the way until E3 to show off the first fighter in the second Fighter's Pass. It doesn't exactly boost sales for that Fighter's Pass if it's going to be completely blind purchase for the next few months. So at least showing off that first fighter and getting people excited for it might be something Nintendo wants to do. It just makes financial sense to me. Over on Discord, Castanets98 wrote, Best Buy restock date for Isabelle Amiibo is set for April 17th. Re-released Amiibos tend to come alongside new ones. New wave imminent? And if you check over on the Best Buy website, that is true. Isabelle should be showing up April 17th. And we haven't seen any DLC Amiibos yet, so it's possible we could get those shown off, and that might be the release date, or at least around the release date for when they could be showing up. As a big Amiibo fan myself, I can't wait to see what the DLC Amiibos look like and see how many we're going to get here. Joker obviously is going to be the first one, but with Hero having so many alt costumes, it's possible we could get some sort of cool 4-pack for Hero, and that would be awesome. Over on Twitter, when the Animal Crossing Direct was posted by Nintendo of America, the official Doom Twitter wrote back, will Isabelle be there? This was a really cool nod to this sort of internet joke about how Isabelle and Doomguy are like friends or something because both Doom and Animal Crossing New Horizons come out on the same day. Well, Pete Hines actually took note of this and wrote, I'm not saying this is a sign that there are larger forces at work here, but ... and posted the like count at 66.6, which is sort of a satanic hell reference, which fits Doom. Pete Hines was the one, when they were asked if Bethesda and Nintendo had ever discussed Smash Brothers, he said, oh yeah. Also over on Twitter, when asked, is Doomguy being represented in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Pete Hines responded, I think that would be a question for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate dev team. So whether or not these are hints that Doomguy could actually be coming to Super Smash Bros., I don't know, but Pete Hines seems to enjoy this sort of Doom and Nintendo, relationship that's going on. But he does seem to kind of fan the flames for that whole conspiracy theory. So we'll see if anything actually comes of it. Well, that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I'm hopeful that we'll get a Nintendo Direct this week, but I don't know for sure. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get a Direct this week, or do you think we're going to have to wait a bit longer? If you guys have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff we talked about in this video, leave them below. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. It really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.